everybody. I want to talk about something that just really speaks to my heart, and just kind of sort of had this bit of a realization I want to share. There's this expression that says, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness," and that's usually something you tell somebody that's starting to get on your nerves, etc., etc. I'm sure at some point you've probably said something like this to a narcissist, or somebody that's taking advantage of you, saying, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." And that's kind of sort of a semi-passive aggressive defensive tactic or way to push back, and yet it doesn't seem to work. And this is the point I want to make. Where's my there we go. Don't mistake your weakness as kindness. That is a completely different thing to think about. Think about Darwinism, only the strong survive, right? The weak are the ones that don't make it. If you're on the receiving end of abuse, that means there are weaknesses that must be acknowledged, because you can't just say somebody just really took advantage of my good nature, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't really get to the base root core of your problems. Why? Because you were probably raised to be a nice person, a good person, have manners. You don't give, you want to give the shirt off your back. You want to help people. You've been taught to, never be, you don't want to be the asshole, right? Well, you don't want to be the asshole. And so there are some people who make it through life to look specifically for people like you and to make you feel like the asshole if you don't do what they want. And here we are. And hate to say it, it is a weakness. And trust me, it is it is liberating to acknowledge and accept that you might not be the toughest motherfucker on the block. Seriously. If you got abused, it is what it is. You were not tougher than the abuser in a specific regard. They were more clever, they were more crafty, they backed you into the corner, right? Not necessarily calling you weak, but they found a weakness and exploited it. Even Achilles had his damn heel, okay? So, don't mistake your weakness as kindness. Really think about that. Think about all of the kind things you do and the way that your kind nature made you a target, made you a victim. Now, as is common with all things cluster B, your natural response to everything that I'm saying is probably like, well, so I got to be an asshole then, right? Because that's splitting, that's hyperbole. You go from one extreme to the other. No, don't be an asshole. Except to the people that you should be an asshole to. There is a time and a place to be an asshole. And if you're on this channel, now's the time and this is the place. Be an asshole. You may not want to be. They know this. That's part of the plan. So be one. They won't expect it. They'll be like, oh shit, somebody's in a bad mood. Whatever, let them talk their shit. You can be an asshole. Because remember, they need you. You don't need them. They need you. So you can be an asshole and they'll still come back, right? All the same things that they, for all the shit they talk about you needing them and coming crawling back to them and all that stuff. No. That's projection. They need you. That's entirely 100% why the hoovering and the things like supply and all of that stuff exists. Okay? You can be an asshole to them. They'll keep coming back until they discard you, right? And I know this kind of goes against counter to some of the other advice I've said in the past about, you want them to discard you. right? And yes, um, there is a time and a place for everything, right? But part of your healing journey to prevent this in the future is you got to learn to recognize the time and the place to be an asshole, and be an asshole before a new narcissistic person comes into your life, right? Hands down. And especially, I mean, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by recognizing, you know what? You probably do have a few weaknesses. Probably. Just saying, you probably do. And people probably recognize your weaknesses, and there's going to be some people that want to swoop in and help protect you, but most of the time, people will either ignore your weaknesses or exploit them. So the majority of the time, people are not going to swoop in to help you strengthen yourself in your areas of weakness. Why? Because people tend to not like criticism or even constructive criticism, especially when it is not requested or asked for. So you're just not ever going to get help in these areas automatically. And even if you do ask, there are people, I mean, shit, we've all learned that at some point when people ask you for help, it's like, fuck, at this age, pay a fucking therapist, get a professional. Don't be bringing our friendship into your personal healing journey, because that's the surefire way to ruin a friendship, right? Yeah. So just remember that. Do not mistake your weaknesses as kindness. I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. Some people love him, some people hate him, most people think he's okay. But he says something. He's like, look at Beauty and the Beast, right? Think about this from a strictly rational perspective. Beauty and the Beast, right? Gaston he did everything right. He should have been the hero. He is the hero of the story, right? Believe it or not, he's the hero. He was the only person who was acting rationally and wanted to do what the right thing was. Holy shit, there's a beast, and he captured this old man. Oh, and his daughter, and let the old man go, and now he's holding the daughter hostage, presumably, doesn't say this, but presumably as some sort of slave. So, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go kill the beast and rescue her. Shit. Let's get moving. Oh, and hang his head on my wall, whatever, right? Yeah, makes total sense. Meanwhile, Beast, he's a fucking beast. Got teeth and claws, hates her. He's a total dick, total asshole. But what happens? Oh, he saves her from wolves. Oh, and then all of a sudden, this awesome library, and she falls in love with him. She sees past his beastly appearance, right? But, it says something about the attractive nature of having teeth and claws. It really does, right? And you want to have teeth and claws because you need to have that in you. You need to have that potential carnivorous nature always, ready, at the ready to be summoned. This is one reason why serial killers get so much attention from women. This is why investigative discovery, why so many women are fascinated by serial killers and rapists and murderers and all that kind of stuff. There's this deep dark attraction to it. It's also one reason why vampires are a very common sexual fantasy, right? So there is something to be said about the potential of having the teeth and claws and making the conscious decision not to tear somebody to shreds. That's what you need to be. Being nice gets you nothing, especially if you have no teeth and no claws, right? Being nice while you have teeth and claws and choosing not to shred somebody, that's what you should strive to have. And a lot of us just never developed the teeth and the claws. I certainly didn't, but I'm learning. I think I've done a pretty decent job. It's hard because it goes against everything that you were At least with me, everything I was raised to believe. I mean, I was raised in the church. I was a quote good kid. You know, I was nice. You know, I wanted to I wanted to make everybody happy. I wanted to be the peacemaker. I'd give the shirt off my back to help somebody. I would go out of my way. Anytime somebody would move, I would, it's like, oh, you're moving? I'll help. Right? How often do you find somebody that actually wants to help people move? Like that was me. Right? So, I mean, I was, I was just that kind of guy. And it's a real self sacrificer. Um, and I realize now that those traits did me well when I lived in a more fairy tale kind of existence. But the world is not a pretty place, especially for my viewers, and I know who most of you are. Those of you who have been through some real trauma, some real traumatic shit. You know that the world is not it's not a friendly place. And if you don't have teeth and claws, this world will eat you alive, and it's a horrible way to go. So, yeah. Don't mistake your weakness as kindness. Instead, recognize your weakness and build yourself up from the inside out so that you can be an ass, you can be a dick when you need to be. And you can have those teeth and claws at the ready to show as soon as they need to be seen. And that's how you keep toxic people out. That's all I got. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, or share. I'll see y'all on the next video.